JB Cycles here with a quick update on June the 21st. I will probably make another video this weekend, but here's a quick update. So here I have put in the 2-week oscillation lows with red diamonds, and with blue bigger ones I have the 10-week oscillation lows, and I see 10-week oscillation low coming this next week probably. But you know, this 10-week oscillation, my main scenario was this kind of sideways move for this early summer, but I didn't like the way it developed. Here I would have liked to see a topping formation, but it was more like a bull flag. And over here I said, well, when we started to break up here, I said the bearish scenario was dead. And then it will probably be something more like this. So just a small pullback coming this next week, and then we have a new 10-week cycle. That's my most probable scenario. So we see in my 4-week cycle here, we have a 4-week cycle low coming up next week, and yeah, so some kind of consolidation here. Looking at the Dow Jones industrial hourly data, we do have the 2-week oscillation also suggesting some kind of downside this coming week. And this looks kind of weak, like a bear flag, but I don't think it will turn into anything very bearish, because actually for the Dow Jones it looks like, well, this bearish scenario did not play out, so I have this green one here. This actually looks like a 10-week oscillation low that we just had. I have this triangle to suggest where to look for the low, and well, it was a little bit early, so it's possible maybe it is a bit late. And it's possible, you know, if we regard this as a kind of a failing rally, then we have a cash build up here, and that would suggest a low, well, in a bit over a week's time or so. So we have to watch out here, but it is possible that this was a 10-week oscillation low, and well, then we should break out here. So I have a very interesting observation here. You know, many sectors have been weak, while tech stocks were rallying, and we had this divergence, many calling it a bearish divergence. But I have a different interpretation here, because you know, a while ago, or for a while, I've been pointing to this possible scenario that we go kind of sideways early this summer and then start to break out after the summer. But then the S&P broke out early. But you know, if you look at the Dow Jones Industrial Index, that one actually did exactly as expected, only missing a move down into end of June, early July. Yeah, and then we could start to break out on the next move up. So it looks like Dow Jones and many sectors did what I expected them to. It was just the tech stocks that went nuts. And if you look at my short-term cycles, these cycles, the composite here is now actually, well, it has been weak for a while here, and now it's getting bullish. All these 3 cycles are curling up bullish. We have this one. This one is already in the middle of the bullish phase. The quarterly cycle is making a low around this next week and then curling up. And the 10-week cycle, the same, making a low this next week and then curling up. And actually, if you look at here, I'm comparing this cycles composite with the S&P. But if we if I make a quick comparison with the Dow Jones Industrial Average, it actually fits my cycles composite better. We only have a small deviance here where we had the banking crisis early 23, but otherwise it works really nice. And here the cycles composite has a weak period all into end of June, and Dow Jones has went sideways, but now it's turning bullish very soon. First we have to wait for some kind of a pullback next week, but then it looks all fine, bullish. So actually that the tech stocks rallying, well, that is not a concern when it happens when the cycles are weak. You know, that's a bullish sign. If stocks manage to rally in the weak cycle phase, it would be much worse now when we have this bullish phase if stocks can't rally. That would, or if you have a divergence in the market, many stocks are rallying, but many are not. And you know, that's a possible setup going forward. What if we have now sector rotation? All these weak sectors are starting to rally, but what if the tech stocks are too overbought and they go down? Then we will have a bearish divergence in this bullish phase. But if not all sectors can rally, then we can start to see a possible topping formation, making a top around early August perhaps. This is the wavelets for the S&P, and you know, I have these possible analogs here in black. So expecting some kind of a consolidation, but if we can't consolidate, just continue up here, it's possible we could see a topping formation already mid-July. But you know, we had this very strong solar storm, the strongest in 20 years. The previous one did produce a correction. I was doubtful if this second one would do it because it was too soon after the previous one, and we already had a shakeout in the market. But we did see many sectors showing the expected weakness after such a solar storm, and they went down. But you know, these geomagnetic storms are unpredictable. They can also produce wild squeezes and wild rallies, or unexpected results. You know, what if markets are very concerned about high energy prices, and what if the solar storm makes oil prices crash? Then the stock market can rally, have the opposite effect. You know, you don't know what market will this effect materialize in. So I'm not saying that was the case here, but we did see call it some panic in many sectors. They were going down, and then we saw buying panic in the tech stocks. So anyway, I'm expecting some kind of a pullback here. I have this rectangle, a very primitive tool telling me I should put my next long position in about, well, actually that's in almost 2 weeks time. But when we are this far into the rectangle and we have not seen anything bearish, that tells me nothing bearish will happen here, or unlikely. So this pullback, you want to buy it, but then we have to see in this next rally phase, do we see a broad market rallying, or is it more like a sector rotation? The weak sectors could rally, and the tech stocks maybe are too overbought and will be weak, and maybe the S&P, when the tech stocks have such big weight in the index, so maybe the S&P will not be that strong, while other sectors stronger. So I'm just speculating. We do not see no reason to expect this to say this bull market is anywhere near an end. But if we start to see we have entered the zone where we should start looking for a top or weakness, and if we start to see weakness in July, August, well, then we have to look out. So see you later in the weekend. Bye bye.